Hey everyone! Today, I want to share an inspiring story from the Bible about a young man named John Mark. His journey is a powerful reminder that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to something greater. Introduction to John Mark, Acts 12. In the mid-40s AD, we find a dramatic event in Acts 12. Peter, one of Jesus' closest disciples, was imprisoned by King Herod. But God had other plans. An angel miraculously freed Peter from his chains and led him out of the prison. Acts 12 verse 11 captures Peter's realization. Now I know for certain that the Lord has sent his angel and has delivered me from the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the Jewish people. After his release, Peter went straight to the house of Mary, the mother of John Mark, where believers were gathered in prayer. Acts 12 verse 12. This is our first introduction to John Mark. His mother, Mary, was a wealthy supporter of the early church, and her home became a sanctuary for believers. Imagine the scene. Peter knocking on the door, and a servant girl named Rhoda being so overjoyed that she forgot to let him in. John Mark's missionary work, Acts 13. Fast forward to around AD 46, Paul and Barnabas set out on their first missionary journey, covering over 1,200 miles. They took John Mark along as their assistant, Acts 12 verse 25. This journey was significant, filled with challenges and opportunities to spread the gospel. In the church at Antioch, 5 prominent leaders, including Barnabas and Paul, were fasting and praying when the Holy Spirit called Barnabas and Saul for a special mission, Acts 13 verses 1-3. They took John Mark with them to assist in this mission, Acts 13 verse 5. However, the journey was tough. When they reached Perga, John Mark left them and returned to Jerusalem, Acts 13 verse 13. This desertion was a major blow, causing a rift between Paul and Barnabas. Paul was so upset over this that he and Barnabas had a sharp disagreement later on. Lessons from John Mark's story. Failure is not final. Proverbs 24 verse 16 says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." John Mark's initial failure did not define his entire life. He later became valuable to both Paul and Peter, showing that our setbacks can lead to greater things. Failure doesn't define you. Despite his early desertion, John Mark proved himself to be a blessing in the ministry. His story teaches us that our failures do not determine who we are. Failure is a door. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. It reveals our weaknesses and areas where we need to improve, helping us to become stronger in our faith. Dependence on Christ. When everything else is stripped away, we learn to rely solely on God. Our failures can deepen our dependence on Christ, drawing us closer to Him. Takeaways from the story. 1. Fasting and prayer precede significant work for God. Before embarking on their mission, the leaders at Antioch fasted and prayed. This spiritual discipline prepared them to receive direction and anoint those who were set apart for the mission. This teaches us the importance of seeking God's guidance and strength before undertaking any significant task. 2. The role of support and encouragement. Barnabas, whose name means son of encouragement, played a crucial role in John Mark's life. Despite John Mark's failure, Barnabas continued to support him. We all need someone like Barnabas in our lives, someone who believes in us even when we stumble. 3. The reality of hardships in ministry. The journey that Paul, Barnabas, and John Mark undertook was not for the faint of heart. Traveling over treacherous terrain and facing constant dangers required immense courage and faith. This reminds us that following God's call often involves hardships, but these challenges can strengthen our faith and resolve. 4. Redemption and restoration. John Mark's story doesn't end with his desertion. He later proved himself to be a dedicated worker for the gospel. Paul, who was initially upset with him, eventually recognized his value. In 2 Timothy 4 verse 11, Paul writes, "Get Mark and bring him with you, because he is helpful to me in my ministry." This is a powerful testament to the possibility of redemption and restoration after failure. Please subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content and biblical teachings. Thumbs up this video if you found John Mark's story encouraging. Comment below with your thoughts and questions about overcoming failure in faith. Share this video with friends and family to spread the message of resilience and redemption.